Good evening. Happy Easter, everyone. You know, there are times in the life of the church, and this is definitely one of them, when the humble words of a prosaic and often mediocre preacher are just not good enough for the moment that we're in. And we resort to fantastic music, incredible flowers, beautiful liturgy, and great storytelling, and tonight, a wonderful poem. In 1970, decades before terms like farm to table or locally sourced or the word agrarian became signifiers of awakened consciousness among Portland hipsters, Wendell Berry in 1970 was working on a small farm in Henry County, Kentucky, just as 5 generations of his ancestors on both sides of his family had done. Well, he was also writing poetry and fiction and teaching creative writing at the University of Kentucky. One day, as he sat down at his desk, he was seized by the voice of a wonderful rascal that he dubbed the Mad Farmer, a natural contrarian and agricultural revolutionary who shakes up the townspeople with his prophetic voice. In his first Mad Farmer poem, we find that the Mad Farmer has gotten wildly drunk on communion wine and is gone on a magnificent bender. The people see him coming, and they say, "It's an awesome event when an earthen man has drunk his fill of the blood of a god." And they got out of his way. The poem goes on, he plowed the churchyard, the minister's wife, 3 graveyards, and a golf course. In a parking lot, he planted a forest of little pines. He sanctified the groves, dancing at night in the oak shades with goddesses. In this first poem, the Mad Farmer ends up marrying the minister's wife, and they sowed and reaped until all the countryside was filled with farmers and their brides sowing and reaping. When they died, they became 2 spirits of the woods. Berry continued to write a series of Mad Farmer poems for some years, finally writing his magnum opus Manifesto, the Mad Farmer Liberation Front, in 1973. When I discovered the poem, I instantly knew that it should be a sermon for Easter Vigil. And this is probably, I'm calculating in my head, I think the 15th time and the last time that I will have read this poem at an Easter Vigil. It is for me a gospel-inspired call for us to practice resurrection. And if you'd like to follow along, there's a link on your phones or your leaflets. Manifesto, the Mad Farmer Liberation Front. Love the quick profit, the annual raise, vacation with pay? Want more of everything ready-made? Be afraid to know your neighbors and to die? And you will have a window in your head. Not even your future will be a mystery anymore. Your mind will be punched in a card and shut away in a little drawer. When you want to buy something, they will call you. When they want you to die for profit, they will let you know. So, friends, every day do something that won't compute. Love the Lord. Love the world. Work for nothing. Take all that you have and be poor. Love someone who does not deserve it. Denounce the government and embrace the flag. Hope to live in that free republic for which it stands. Give your approval to all who you cannot understand. Praise ignorance, for what man has not encountered, he has not destroyed. Ask the questions that have no answers. Invest in the millennium. Plant sequoias. Say that your main crop is the forest that you did not plant, that you will not live to harvest. Say that the leaves are harvested when they have rotted into the mold. Call that profit. Prophesy such returns. Put your faith in the 2 inches of humus that will build under the trees every 1,000 years. Listen to carrion. Put your ear close and hear the faint chattering of the songs that are to come. Expect the end of the world. Laugh. Laughter is immeasurable. Be joyful, though you have considered all the facts. So long as women do not go cheap for power, please women more than men. Ask yourself, will this satisfy a woman satisfied to bear a child? Will this disturb the sleep of a woman near to giving birth? Go with your love to the fields. Lie down in the shade. Rest your head in her lap. Swear allegiance to what is nighest your thoughts. As soon as the generals and the politicos can predict the emotions of your mind, lose it. Leave it as a sign to mark the false trail, the way you didn't go. Be like the fox who makes more tracks than necessary, some in the wrong direction. Practice resurrection. Amen.